Hello, I'm Vivian McCarthy, President of the Shire of Donnybrook Balingup. Welcome to this video summary of the Ordinary Council meeting held on the 22nd of May 2024. You can access the full video of the meeting and documents by visiting the Shire website. At the beginning of the meeting, it was my privilege to formally recognise the significant contribution made by our 12 volunteer bushfire brigades. Much of the meeting this month centred on outcomes from the April annual general meeting of the Bushfire Advisory Committee. At their AGM, the Bushfire Advisory Committee elected bushfire control officers for the 24-25 year, and these roles were authorised to perform any function relating to the prevention and control of bushfires, including the protection of life and property. FCOs are also authorised to issue permits to burn within their brigade area. Councillors were asked to endorse the 15 newly elected FCOs across the Shire's 12 brigades and requested the CEO to authorise them to carry out their duties for the 24-25 year. Another important outcome from the Bushfire Advisory Committee AGM was the election of new committee members for the 24-25 year. Max Walker will continue in the role of Chief Bushfire Control Officer, with Ian Ralph and Bevan Dix as his deputies. Murray Webb will fill the roles of Communications Officer and Fire Weather Officer. I'd like to acknowledge David Took for his years of service as Deputy. And endorsing the committee's recommendation, councillors extended their appreciation for the enormous contribution made by our firefighting volunteers and committee members. As an aside from the meeting agenda, I will take this opportunity to encourage community members to volunteer as a member of one of our local brigades. We face increasing risk of fire emergency in a shire that consists of 48% of forest in a drying climate, and the number of volunteer firefighters is at a record low. Our local brigades are divided into 12 areas to allow them to quickly respond to fires. And when they do, they bring with them their local knowledge, familiarity and expertise in dealing with local fuel loads and topography, which in most instances prevents escalation to an emergency event. However, we desperately need many more volunteers within the 12 brigades. And if you have family, animals and property that you'd like to help protect, please consider signing up. Mandatory training is offered during winter months to build the skills needed to keep our community safe during the fire season. And if you would like to find out more about how you can help, please contact your local brigade. 3 development applications were considered by Council and approved subject to the conditions and advice set out in the executive recommendation. One application was supported by a deputation from Woodside Energy Carbon Services Limited. Woodside purchased grazing land on the Greenbushes Grimwade Road in Balingup back in November 2022. They propose the growth of a carbon farming plantation with the primary output being carbon credit units. Their intention is to seed and plant local native species to establish a native forest which won't be harvested and which will be subject to a 100-year permanence period. A separate application relates to the building of 5 holiday accommodation cabins at 308 Ryle Road in Brazier. 3 of the cabins are proposed to be accessed from Ryles Road, with 2 accessed from Thomas Road. 2 cabins will be built initially, with the remaining cabins added later. Concerns were raised by councillors and debate followed before the application was approved, subject to conditions and advice. The application will bring important tourism opportunities to the area. The final agenda item for the meeting was the presentation of the April financial report. The report provides a closing surplus of $3.962 million, and in line with adjusted budget expectations, this will drop to $124,000 by the end of June 24. At this point, project and grant funding is rolled forward into the 24-25 year for projects that are yet to be completed. Thank you for listening to this summary. The next Ordinary Council meeting will be held on the 26th of June at the Council Chamber in Donnybrook at 5 p.m, with an agenda briefing the week before.